All right, George Russell, thank you very much for taking the time to do this with us. Really appreciate it.
you.
It's good to see you.
You too.
This time last year, you were pole position here in Canada. Do you feel like this track may owe you something because of what went down in that race last year?
No, this circuit doesn't owe me anything. It was one of the worst races I've done in quite a while. And
Well, it wasn't that bad. I mean, you were pretty good.
I was really kicking myself after because I made two big mistakes. But then I rewatched the race back and I saw many drivers were making a lot of mistakes. Even Lando and Max went off a few times. Just the mistakes were at different points and they didn't cost them the same as what they cost me. But I love Montreal. I love this circuit. I hope this weekend can be another strong one.
If the temperatures, I guess, are right, do you feel that this could be a circuit that suits the car?
I prefer to under-promise, over-deliver, but there's definitely been a trend over the last 2 years that when it's cold, we're fast, when it's hot, we're pretty stinky. So, and we learned that it started from here 12 months ago. It was very cold and everything was just in the window, and then we went to Las Vegas a few months later and we smashed it. But then in the likes of Singapore or Barcelona last week, we struggle.
Fourth in the driver's standings. You're having the best start to your F1 career ever. You've been fantastic. But to keep moving up, what do you think needs to happen?
We just need to keep getting more from the race car, to be honest. We've been a couple of years now where we're just not quite nailing it. And, we saw McLaren obviously make that jump, which has been exceptional, and we're struggling to find the same amount. And of course now we're in a bit of a weird time where we've got 2026 looming already, and the majority of teams are already fully focused on that.
Is Mercedes fully focused on 2026 now, or
there's still lots of opportunity for this year, and there's still ways you can continue to improve your car without taking the eye off the ball for next year.
2 weeks ago, I want to bring it back to Spain, and yourself and Max. Have you guys had a chance to speak at all since then?
Well, we bumped into each other at the airport a few days ago, but we've got to be honest, I totally forgot about Barcelona. He was there with his newborn, and he was busy folding the pram up to get it through the security scanner, so I was just waiting. You know when you're in line and you got like a family in front of you and you're like, I should have chose the other line. That was me a few days ago, just with him.
You should have just bumped him out of the way.
Yeah, I should have done. So no, I mean, there's nothing to speak about. We've had our issues in the past. Last week.
Do you think he takes things too far though? Like, I mean, at some points.
That's how he drives, to be honest. I don't believe he intentionally tried to crash into me. I think he just wanted to show who was boss and got it slightly wrong. I don't know.
Being the head of the GPDA, and when you experience moments like that with other drivers, are these conversations that come up between the group?
To be honest, they usually come up from the FIA standpoint, because the FIA always want to get feedback from the driver's perspective if we believe the penalty was correct for certain incident. So we'll do it a couple of times a year that they'll show us a couple of crashes and penalties, and they'll say right, that was a 10-second, that was a 5, that was a grid place. Do we agree? What's our view? But between the drivers, it's racing at the end of the day, and sometimes there's collisions, intentionally or unintentionally, and that's just part and parcel of the sport.
Need to ask you about your contract. Obviously, contract year. Toto has said in the past, I think it was a few weeks ago, that the two of you were aligned, I believe is the phrase that he has used. What does that alignment look like?
Well, the alignment at the moment is we've got more important things to worry about, which is making the car go faster. I know I'm going to be in Formula One next year. My goal and intention is to stay with Mercedes, and I think from their side it's the same. But I've really got no concerns whatsoever, because I feel I'm performing better than I've ever done before. I feel in a great place, but we don't even have the time to do a contract at the moment, to be honest. We're trying to get Mercedes back on top, and that needs all of our focus. We'll start discussing the future when the time is right, but there's going to be no issues there.
Is it? I guess is it hard as a driver not to think about it? Only because I guess with 2026, it's such a big regulation change, and it kind of feels like that. I mean, Mercedes could be in a very great position to start next season. It's a very coveted position you have here at this team. So is it? I guess the question is, is it challenging not to think about it?
Not really, to be honest, because if you perform, you're wanted. If you don't, you're not. So it's pretty simple, really. It's like everyone can talk about it as much as they want, but there's been numerous drivers in the past who had contracts and they didn't perform, and then they were no longer around. So I've always said it. Performance is my number one currency, and we'll do the contract when the time is right. And I need to ensure things are right for me as well, and that I feel fully, appreciated within the team, wherever that would be, and that the long-term goals are aligned. There are teams who are building for their future. There are teams who are kind of in their prime and ready to win championships today. I still feel really young, but I'm 27. I still think I've got a good 15 years left in me. But the fact is, I've been with Mercedes for so long, and we've been on this journey together. I want to win with Mercedes.